Hello and good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Forest Lake Morning Show. My name is Tyler.
I'm Brendan.
And today we are going to bring to you some information, not only current events, but also whether we think artists are credible if they do or do not write their own songs. Because let's just say it is obviously in the industry that a lot of artists do not write their own songs. Counter that with a lot of artists do write their own songs, but
there are songwriters out there for a reason. It's a full-time job.
And we'll get into that, whether it is making them credible or not as the artist. But first, we got to start with current events because that's what we always do. Mm-hmm. A lot of things going on in the industry right now.
What do we got?
Snoop Dogg earlier this week announced with Universal Pictures that he's releasing a biopic. Dude's been in the game.
What?
A biopic?
What's a biopic?
You know,
you can't just say a word like that and then just move on. You have to explain it a little bit.
I was actually really afraid you were going to say that, and I was like, should I look up the definition of biopic before I go out there saying that Snoop Dogg's starting a biopic?
Yeah.
Because off the top of my head, I don't know the exact definition of a biopic.
So what's he releasing?
So, okay, well, let's do some context clues. Biography, right? It's about yourself. It's a book about yourself, right?
Okay.
Biopic, I think, is the same thing, but for film. It's a film about yourself, your history. So it's going to be a film. Do you remember a movie called Straight Outta Compton?
Yeah.
About NWA and everything?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, except it's specifically for Snoop Dogg. Now, the reason why they're doing it is because Straight Outta Compton was actually very successful. I mean, as far as like
big, real big,
huge. Did you see it?
Long time ago.
You like it?
I honestly don't remember a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Then I guess you didn't.
It was a movie though.
Didn't like it. Well, it's not really.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I didn't see that. I take that back. I'm not sure.
We got to watch it because it is pretty good. Even if you don't like, NWA or Dre and all those people, it's actually Ice Cube. It's a really good movie.
But Snoop's releasing one. That's cool.
Snoop is releasing one. Yeah, I think it's, obviously, who's not going to watch it? Snoop Dogg.
Are we sure that's what a biopic? A biopic? Is that what it is?
Take your best guess at what a biopic is.
I have no idea. That's why I'm asking, man.
Well, hopefully someone out there can let us know what a biopic is. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what a biopic is. Snoop Dogg, by the way, 17 Grammys. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's been in the game for a long time though.
30-some years. He's 50 years old. I think he's been doing it. Yeah, so it makes sense. He's an entertainer. Everybody knows Snoop Dogg. I don't think anybody hates Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, you can't hate Snoop.
You can't hate the Snoop D-O-G, baby.
Yeah.
Moving forward, I'm actually excited to ask you about this.
Yeah, what do you got?
1994, Mariah Carey released a song that has since been a global phenomenon. Maybe not global, but an American phenomenon on the charts, to which even I think last year or the year before, it peaked at number one on the Billboard Hot 200. All I Want for Christmas Is You. Or All I Want Is You is what I think it is. Since you're such a Christmas fanatic, where does that song rank? Just out of curiosity, what do you think of it? How are you feeling about it? Is it ready to play it?
It's a classic, but it's one of those songs that's almost overplayed. Like, the memes have started to come out like a month ago about this song.
Really?
I don't know. It's a classic.
So
it's a great song.
You don't like it?
I don't mind it. It's not something I would put on. I might skip over it.
I personally do hate it.
Yeah.
I think maybe just because you're right, it is overplayed, and there are so many better Christmas songs.
Yeah.
But no disrespect to Mariah Carey. I think she is the leading. She's the most or the best selling female artist in the music industry.
Because of that song?
Well, I think because she's just been around for so long, not because.
That has to be like her number one song, though.
It is. I think it helped.
Yeah.
But maybe give Beyonce some time, give Taylor Swift some time. I think they'll catch up. But Mariah Carey's been in the game for a long time. She's been doing great.
Yeah.
You're excited for Christmas, right?
It's a great holiday.
We briefly talked about it previously.
Yeah.
For the Christmas music. So, just so you guys are aware, the reason I bring that up is because Mariah Carey is doing some special about it. So there's like some
about her song.
Yeah, you can't escape it. Like you have to eat, sleep, and breathe. All I Want Is You. So
we can handle it.
I hope so. Holiday season. Well, we're gonna have to handle it because we're gonna have to write a competing Christmas song. That's Forest Lake. We have to. We just have to.
Do we though?
We do. It's gonna be sweet too.
Okay.
But more details on that later. Okay. Continuing forth, because there's so much to talk about. I'm excited about this. We don't like country music, but the Country Music Awards did happen on Wednesday.
I don't mind country music.
You like country music?
Yeah, I was in Nashville, man.
Who's your favorite country artist?
Ooh. Tom Srett, probably.
Okay.
He's classic.
I thought Thomas Rhett was like EDM.
No.
Am I confused with somebody else?
Yeah.
Thomas Rhett.
A little bit.
My apologies. I didn't mean to speak for you.
He's like, we both don't like anything. It's just...
We don't like Taylor Swift. We don't like
Why don't you like country?
We don't like country music. Guys, we do like stuff. It's just this is an opinionated show. You've been warned. So
why don't you like country?
So I used to not like country a lot more than now, but I've been exposed to it. It is good. There's cheese to it.
There definitely is.
Right? We've made fun of it. All the time we try to turn our own songs into country songs because we think it's funny.
Yeah.
No disrespect to country music. It is a beautiful thing that we just... It's a beautiful genre, but...
there's like a very cliche way of writing a country song, though. Yeah. There's like a recipe that never goes wrong. And I feel like everyone found that out and they just follow that to a T.
Well, it works. I mean,
it does work.
Not to mention, the guy that we have doing our drum tracks is a session cat for country artists.
Yep.
Shout out Evan Hutchings. What a guy. So we have to like it. Now we have to like it. But the Country Music Awards did happen on Wednesday. I didn't watch it. I'll be honest. Didn't watch it, but I did get a recap. Things to mention. Luke Combs, Entertainer of the Year. Second time he won it. I know that name. I don't really listen to a lot of his music. I like the Zac Brown Band. They had some
great.
Zac Brown Band?
Yeah.
They had some awards. They didn't win, but the other thing to be aware of for anyone that is a country music fan out there, this country artist named Lainey Wilson won 2 awards. She won Female Vocalist of the Year and New Artist of the Year. So I just felt like bringing that up because if you're a country music fan out there and also watch this show, check out Lainey Wilson if you haven't. She is apparently a new artist or has been breaking the scene. So
I'll check her out.
With all that being said, let me ask you, because we did talk about this, something we want to incorporate into this show maybe is a weekly song recommendation, a song of the week. And I have one because I've literally listened to it probably 100 times in the past 24 hours.
I'm aware.
But I want to start with you. I want to hear what you have to recommend to the people as a song of the week.
Man, song of the week. I had to dive kind of deep. Not like... I listened to a lot, like in a week. So I was really just like, what stood out? Like, what was I kind of repeating a bit? And it's Sunny Someday by Ruben Phillies. Sunny Someday. It's kind of a tricky one, but it's a really cool vibe. It's just, it's strange. It's almost like indie pop-ish, pop rock maybe, but really cool, like summer chill vibe.
Summer chill vibe as we head into winter.
Yeah, you need it, man.
You can't escape.
We live
Florida.
in Florida.
Yeah, we do live in Florida. Okay.
What about you?
Well, let me ask you a couple questions more on that. So, is this a band you routinely listen to, or is this just one song that you like of the band?
I think I know only like 2, maybe 3 of their songs.
Okay. But this is the one of the week that you're like,
the standout.
This is very cool, very good.
Yeah, it's different.
Have you seen any videos of them live at all, or like played a song?
No idea what they look like. If it's one dude, no idea.
Do you do that? Do you ever just like find a song and you're like, man, I got to find out what this sounds like live?
So, all the time. Yeah,
it's
it depends on the song too.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know. Like
how much you
there
like
is some song that, but also like there are some songs where you know like this would be good live.
Yeah.
You know, and then you go look at it and you're like, yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other songs that you don't even picture live. It's more just like a studio, very tight production song. You're like, I know this probably is going to sound like this live, if not worse.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, cool. I'm going to check that out because I don't think I've heard that. And I haven't heard
we'll crank it, man.
Have you heard you blaring it? Yeah.
Yeah. What do you got?
So Brendan and I are trying to learn Spanish, and I've been listening to a lot of Latin American music.
It's not going great.
Well, let's be optimistic. Everybody starts somewhere, okay? You know?
Yep.
But one of the songs I'm listening to is called La Curiosidad. If that shows you how great our Spanish
I'm surprised it wasn't La Música Ligera.
Yeah. I thought it would have been, but I've moved on to this next song.
You moved on.
La Curiosidad, which just means curiosity, of course. By a guy named Ivan Cornejo, who is playing shows in America and selling out shows. I think
pretty big artist then.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's
from where? Mexico?
Mexico, I think. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, the playlist I listen to on Apple Music is a like a Mexican pop playlist. Song is so good.
What kind of music?
It's this specific song. He's like a singer-songwriter, but this specific song is like a singer-songwriter song. There's only vocals, bass, and drum, or vocals, bass, and guitar. The whole song. But the melodies, the way they fit over it, it's so good. Even if you don't understand what they're saying, which I don't, but I'm just learning the words anyway. The melody is there. Like we've talked about it 100 times. Melody's how melody is king.
Yeah, I never, like you sent that to me. I never listened to it. I was just hearing you kind of rock out to it a little bit, but yeah, I definitely want to check that out.
Definitely check it out. It's a great song, and you know, de vamos practicar español. So you need to listen to it. You know what I mean? Do you know what I said there?
What was the first word?
De vamos.
De vamos?
De vamos. De vamos practicar español.
¿Qué es de vamos?
Need. Like we need.
Necesitamos?
You could say that.
What's de vamos is the same thing?
We need to practice Spanish.
Okay. We'll talk about
his Spanish is not going very well.
Yeah, apparently.
We'll get there.
Which
Which we joked about that one day we'll start this podcast in just speaking Spanish.
In all Spanish. That's the goal. None of you will understand. Maybe some.
Some of you will.
Yeah.
Our Latin audience.
Yeah.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
We'll see how that goes.
Bienvenidos Force Late Morning Show. Mi nombre es Tyler. Mi amigo es Brandon.
Moving on to our main topic of today's episode.
Yes, the main topic.
Is an artist credible if they don't write their own music? What's your hot take? What's your initial reaction to that?
Yes. Yes, they are.
So if an artist...
Am I under the oath?
Yeah. So if you just have an artist, like a hot girl that can sing, and she doesn't write any of her stuff. She has top producers, top songwriters. They just hand her everything. That artist is credible? Because you just said yes very quickly.
So I'm saying yes because I think there is another aspect of art tied into that. This is where it gets tricky. You have that scenario. But what if she's out there and she's literally dancing, singing? She's not lip singing. She's actually singing this stuff. She's a very talented singer. She may not be a good songwriter, but she can really sing. And the ability to sing and dance and put on a live show. And so is that not a form of art and being a credible artist?
I guess. I mean, it's all...
Gotcha.
It's all
relative.
It's all relative. It's all personal opinion, I guess.
Why do I feel like you're coming from a place that they're not if they have ghostwriters?
I don't think that's credible.
Okay. It is out there publicly that Drake, Beyoncé, just two of the biggest people have had ghostwriters.
Yeah, so I think it's a little different. So there's like kind of two sides of it. You have your artists like in that situation where they don't write the song at all. And they just take that song, have a top producer produce it, make it a pop hit, and they're just making millions off that and touring on it. And everyone's like, oh my God, we love that song. You did such a good job. And they did nothing. That I don't think is credible. Then you have the other side of it where you'll have an artist collaborate with songwriters. So they might not be writing the whole song, but maybe they go into the studio with an idea, or they go into the studio, hey, I have this chorus melody in mind. Let's get the songwriters together, see what we can do. Let's finish out the song. That's collaboration.
Collaboration.
Yeah, that's totally credible. That's how I feel like 90% of the industry works, like how songs are written.
Right.
That's totally credible.
Which we saw, to bring to practicality, there's a video on YouTube of Dua Lipa that you brought to my attention, right?
Yeah.
What happened with her going into the studio and...
Exactly that. She had an idea and went down with like two of her best songwriters and finished out the song and
collaborative
top
effort.
Producer, and she had a hit.
Yeah. I think it's funny how you mentioned that you have these people making millions and millions off this system, whether it's somebody that they just plug and chug into their team of songwriters, and this person's just simply the image, the icon. Great money over great art is where the conflict lies, because we want to believe our artists. We want to feel the connection that what they're saying is something they've actually said, something they've actually experienced, right? And if they're there just being a puppet behind a team of songwriters, and it sucks if you find out.
Yeah, but also like the flip side of that is, what about labels? Like, would a label be attracted to someone like that, who they know they can team up with songwriters and just pump out songs to them and they know this person's gonna make like if you have the next Taylor Swift or something, but not in the sense of her songwriting ability, just like she can play a guitar, she can sing very well.
Okay.
Done. Like an artist is like, oh my God, we'll take you, we'll do like a 360 deal, we'll take everything, you know, and we'll just give you the songs. It's for your look, you can sing it. Done. We're gonna make millions.
And you're asking if that's okay?
I'm just saying that feels like the flip side of the whole credibility thing.
Well, yeah, and like I said, yeah, I mean, you got the labels that just want to make money. They don't care how they do it. If they can do it, they're going to do it, whether the artist is. Because then look at it from our perspective. We're down at the bottom here. We're songwriters, right? We wouldn't be opposed to helping somebody songwrite or maybe even giving somebody a song if they were going to pay us, right? But
sure.
But it's a totally different perspective as the fan and as the label / producer songwriter team. I mean,
sure.
How often do we speak of Ryan Tedder?
Every hour.
Goddamn too much. I mean, the dude's the songwriting master, genius, alien that doesn't even make sense how he does what he does. But maybe he works in a collaborative way. I think he does for the most part, but there's probably a number of times where he didn't, where he just wrote the songs and gave it to somebody and they just fucking took it. What do you say about him? Is he part of the problem? Somebody that we look up to?
He's the biggest problem here.
The problem is that we have people like him who are just writing songs for other people.
Well, so let me ask you this. Your favorite band is Coldplay, right? If Coldplay came out and said, we've never written a single song. All of our songs came from songwriters. They were already written. All we did was work with producers to finish the song, like to actually record it. Would you still have like that high level of credibility and like respect for them?
But I would still listen to it.
You would still listen.
But I would feel I would feel lied to, cheated, disappointed. But I'm also a crazy fan. So, I mean, maybe other people don't care.
Well, I feel like a lot of people's, like their favorite song was not written by that artist.
Probably.
You know?
I feel like majority of the radio hits aren't. You know what I mean?
Well, 100%. You
know, so it's a very interesting concept. You can even look at so let me flip that around and ask you, what do you think if John Mayer came out and said, yeah, I literally just plug and play what they give me.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a great guitar player, but like he doesn't write anything.
Yeah.
Would you feel disappointed? Would you feel sad?
Oh, 100%.
Would you still listen to him?
Probably. It's probably that same boat.
Songs are still good.
Yeah. It's a song.
Does John Mayer care what Brendan and Tyler think from freaking Tampa, Florida, whether or not they like him or not? No. Absolutely. Maybe one day, right? Maybe he's one person we haven't said anything bad about yet. So we still got him on the good side.
Yes.
Another thing to be thinking of here, right? Broadway, musicals, dancers. I mean, you talk about those kind of artists who are, they're not writing the screenplay. They're not singing those songs, but are they not a credible artist? You know what I mean?
Oh, that's just like a different type of art.
So it's acceptable.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, okay, you're getting all lawyerish on me. Yeah, sure.
So
that can be acceptable.
Is it then acceptable across the board, or do you look at everything in its own individual category, whether it's Broadway musical, whether it's live performance, whether it's strictly just studio recording?
Yeah, I think you definitely have to kind of separate them. Yeah.
When we become songwriters for somebody, or we write a song for somebody, we're gonna be like the complete opposite of what we're talking about right now.
That episode 19, we're gonna scrap that.
Yeah, well, let's go back and delete that, where we talked about how these artists are incredible because we're getting paid from it. It is interesting to think about, and you know, I think in many cases too, you have big artists that for some songs or some albums they need ghostwriters, they have ghostwriters, but in other cases they don't.
I think writers are great. Writers are a great way to get outside of your bubble, outside of your mind, and have an outside input. You know,
they are, and it helps that songwriter. I mean, you think there's I don't want to say millions, but there's hundreds of thousands of songwriters, right? And there's probably some that are not looking for the stage, the limelight. They just want to songwrite.
Yeah, a lot of them don't. That's why they're songwriters.
Exactly. And they can help write songs for big artists who are the icon, are the image. And then these songwriters can just still get paid and live a good life and play music and be happy.
Yep.
So, you
live
know,
off royalties.
It's like the blue
That's the way to do it, man.
It is the way to do it. It's the blue collar work of the music industry. Well, yeah, maybe I feel
like it's not blue collar though.
No, it's definitely hands on. It's in there. If you get in there, because it is tight. It's hard to get in as like a legitimate songwriter or a songwriter that a lot of people want to work with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But once you do, you're good. Right? Olivia Rodrigo with I forget his name off the top of my head, but the guy that she worked on Sour with. I mean,
oh yeah,
I think we talked about him once before, but same thing.
Yeah.
As soon as that took off, it's like now Dan something, but it's like now he's a hot name.
Yeah.
In the industry.
Yeah.
He had his break. So
well, because you have guys like us looking up these artists, and they're like, oh, let's see who wrote this song, who produced it, who mixed it. I'll work with them, not knowing that it's their first song, their first big hit.
So your final answer: are artists credible if they don't write their own song?
If they don't write any of it, no, I don't think they're credible.
Really?
Yeah.
Even if they're like that's the best version that song could ever be made with. Like we've seen Sia worked with Stargate to potentially sing Diamonds, but they gave it to Rihanna, and it's obviously 1,000 times better. I don't think Sia could have done what Rihanna did.
Yeah, I do. I see what you're saying. Like they would, if they're like active in the production side, is what you're saying, and they're like making the sounds and all that. Potentially,
Go ahead.
Carry on.
I was going to say one more thing. If do they get excused if maybe like one or two songs out of their entire catalog is like strictly been written for them, but then they have other songs, other albums where they've done a lot of work?
Yeah, that's fine, because a lot of artists will like do a cover.
Yeah.
In the case of John Mayer, like Free Fallin'.
Right.
But totally fine.
Well, I'm not talking cover. I'm talking. I get what you're saying there, but like if it is an original, but it was song written by, they didn't have anything to do with
You're
it.
splitting hairs, man.
I'm seeing where your head's at, man. We're talking about the credibility of artists. We're talking about the credibility of Forest Lake one day.
Hey, Forest Lake writes their own songs.
Forest Lake does write those songs.
That's why they suck.
We don't write our own drums though.
Yeah. Well, we do kind of.
Yeah,
and then we hand them off.
Yeah. Collaborative effort though.
Yeah.
So if they have one song that was completely written, or like a couple, but they have a catalog of stuff where they did collaborate,
I think that's kind of.
you'll give them a pass.
Yeah.
So it seems like the artist is credible at the end of the day for you. There's so many open doors where you're saying, yeah, okay, that's credible, that's credible, that's credible.
Stop trying to find the loopholes.
I just found them all, dude. Oh,
yeah.
Man. Cool.
Yep.
Well, I think that settles it for today as far as what we've talked about. Go ahead and let us know in the comments whether or not you think an artist is credible. Also, feel free to drop any information on what your song of the week is. We would love to hear it, and potentially may feature it on next week's episode if we like it.
Ooh.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Let's get some engagement here.
Drop some links.
Wraps it up for me. Brennan, you good?
That's it. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.